There was a time when the TV theme song ruled, but not all the bouncy theme songs got stuck in our heads equally. So these are the absolute best 1980s theme songs you just need to remember. These intros were more than music, they were rituals. So join me for a trip back to the themes that made TV feel like home. Cheers. You didn't just watch Cheers, you really felt welcomed by it. That soft piano intro didn't just set the mood, it set a scene.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got.
Picture this, a cozy bar on a cold Boston night, where the beer's always cold and the banter's always warm. And when that line, "Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name," landed, it wasn't just a lyric, it was a wish.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
A little place where being a regular felt like a superpower. Now let's dive in. The lyrics were deceptively deep for a sitcom theme. They talked about your job being a joke, your hair going gray, your life feeling stuck, and yet it still managed to feel comforting. So how? Well, there is something wonderfully human about admitting life is tough, but knowing there's a place where, hey, someone saved you a seat.
All the same, you wanna be where everybody knows your name.
And the visuals, those old-timey photographs and sketches of bartenders and patrons, it made it feel like this bar had always existed, like it was your bar too, you know? And hey, here's a fun twist. There is a full-length version of the song, and it does get weirdly specific. Like hiding from your spouse and DMV heartbreak levels of personal. But even with all that, the simple message still hits. We all want to be known, remembered, and greeted with a Norm when we walked in. Or, you know, whatever your name is.
Norm! What brings you in this time of day? Same thing that always does.
And that's the real magic of this theme song. It's not just a tune, it's a feeling we all still carry around, taking us to a place where everybody knows your name.
Everybody knows your name.
The Greatest American Hero. Now this theme didn't just sound like the 80s, it kinda was the 80s, soaring in with a cheesy grin, windblown hair, and absolutely no idea how to land.
What's happened to me? I can't believe it myself.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. It might have been about a reluctant superhero, but it felt personal. Like finally hitting green lights on your commute or acing something you had no business passing. And that's what made it great, the idea that even an average Joe could fly. Metaphorically and literally, even if he did crash land more often than not.
Believe it or not, it's just me.
The vocals were earnest and uplifting, and the lyrics capture that perfect mix of hope and bewilderment. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. It was humble, relatable, and maybe the first time a TV superhero theme ever doubled as a motivational pep talk. And those slow motion shots of Ralph bumbling through the sky while that chorus kicked in, it really was comedy gold and pure heart at the same time. It was so beloved, it broke out of the show and took on a life of its own, charting on Billboard and getting stuck in America's collective head. Famously in pop culture, it became George Costanza's absurdly perfect answering machine jingle on Seinfeld. Even now, decades later, it remains the theme song of small, silly triumphs. You don't need spandex or superpowers to feel like you're walking on air. Just sing this theme song the next time something finally goes your way, and try not to smile.
I'm up on top of the world. It should have been somebody else.
Family ties. Right from that opening piano, you knew this wasn't going to be just another gag-heavy sitcom. What would we do, baby, without us?
Without us, what would we do, baby?
It landed like a warm sigh at the end of a really hectic day, reminding you that love held it all together, even when your kid was idolizing Ronald Reagan and your parents were still clinging to the hippie roots. The lyrics weren't trying to be clever, they were being honest. It wasn't about being perfect, it was about sticking through life together.
And I can't remember what I ever did before. But
The duet between Johnny Mathis and Denise Williams added an extra layer of sweetness. Their voices blended like two people who had been through it all, and were now just still slowly dancing in the kitchen anyway.
I bet we've been together for a million years.
And while the show leaned into family politics and generational debates, the theme song reminded you that under it all, this was just a love story of partners, of parents, of a mismatched clan just figuring it all out.
You, baby, without us, what would we do?
Now this one's not flashy, but it didn't need to be. That melody snuck into your heart and it just parked itself there. It's a theme song that whispered instead of shouted, and that's exactly why it stuck. The A-Team. No lyrics, no need. This theme didn't just sing, it charged. It kicked down your TV screen like B.A. Baracus breaking through a wall and demanding your full attention. It had all the subtlety of an exploding barrel, but hey, that's the point, it's the A-Team. From the moment that opening narration hit, if you have a problem, if no one else can help, well, you knew it was time to strap in. Because things were about to get loud and fast and delightfully absurd. Now, the brass section blared like a military parade on adrenaline, and those snare rolls were pure action movie foreplay. The rhythm galloped like Hannibal's brain kicking into gear, and the melody, well, it made you feel like you too could weld a flamethrower to a lawn tractor in under 30 minutes. It was pure 80s adrenaline in audio form, and every time that van peeled around a corner, the music made it feel like destiny. Now this theme song didn't just accompany the show, it was the show. It's been reused, spoofed, and celebrated in everything from sports hype reels to kids' Lego builds. And let's just be real, if you ever hear those first few notes from this TV theme and you don't finish the narration in your best gravelly voice, what are you doing? It's not nostalgia, it is muscle memory.
10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit.
Growing pains. Now this theme didn't just welcome you in, it wrapped you in a knit sweater, it handed you a juice box, and it said, "Sit down, kiddo, you're home." The moment that warm piano kicked in, you just began to relax and get ready for some Seaver madness.
We got each other. We got the world spinning right.
As long as we got each other, it wasn't just a lyric, it was the show's mission statement. Whether life threw you algebra tests, high school heartbreak, or dramatic Seaver family meltdowns, this song promised that love and laughter would patch it all up by the time the credits rolled.
As long as we got each other.
The theme song was performed by the incredible B.J. Thomas, with the great Dusty Springfield joining in for the later seasons. And, well, their voices had that perfect blend of wisdom and warmth, like two cool aunts and uncles singing life advice from their station wagon. And the visuals were pure scrapbook gold, childhood photos flipping through time like a family album you accidentally found in your parents' closet.
As long as we keep on giving, we can take anything.
Endearing, a little cheesy, and weirdly moving. You watched those pictures go from adorable to awkward adolescence and thought, yeah, same. Even today, hearing that chorus is like flipping on a nightlight from your childhood bedroom. A little corny? Yeah, maybe, but so are most things that made us feel safe. And that's the magic of Growing Pains. It reminded us that as long as we had each other, we could survive anything, even puberty.
Show me that smile.
Don't waste another minute on your crying.
Knight Rider. That opening synth didn't just play, it glowed. It was like the audio equivalent of red scanner lights sweeping across the dark, promising danger, drama, and some seriously smooth crime fighting. You didn't need lyrics when the music already felt like a mission briefing delivered by a talking car, and somehow it did. From the first beat, it told you everything. This wasn't just a guy in a vehicle, it was a lone crusader in a dangerous world, with a really killer theme song.
Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world.
That beat didn't just march, it cruised, like Kid itself gliding silently down a California highway under cover of darkness. And every time that melody looped, it reminded you this show was cool, it was futuristic, and just a little bit ridiculous, in the best way. The theme song has lived on after the show too. It's been sampled in a ton of songs, remixed for clubs, and instantly recognizable to anyone who ever wished their car had turbo boost and a dry sense of humor.
The helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals who operate above the law.
Even now, hear those first few bars and you'll swear your old Honda Civic is about to start talking back. No theme ever said the future is now quite like this one. The Golden Girls. Let's be honest, if you've ever had a best friend, you've probably belted out this tune over a slice of cheesecake. Originally written and recorded by Andrew Gold in 1978, the song truly found its home when jingle singer Cindy Fee lent her voice for the show's opening credits.
Thank you for being a friend.
And this is cool, Fee recorded the track in under 30 minutes, just getting it in only 2 takes. She later reflected, quote, "You've got to be able to walk in and learn a song in about 3 or 4 minutes and go out there and then just really sing it." The producers initially wanted Bette Midler's Friends as the theme song, but it was way too expensive. So then they turned to Gold's composition, which perfectly encapsulated the show's spirit of enduring friendship.
And if you threw a party, invite.
It's been featured in tons of ads, including a 2013 Super Bowl ad for the NFL and a trailer for Deadpool 2. Even Cher performed it as a wonderful tribute to Betty White, and it's also been covered by numerous artists across genres.
Thank you for being a friend.
Even decades later, the theme song remains a universal symbol of gratitude and friendship. As author Jim Colucci noted, quote, "It was the 4 of them against the world. It was magic in every way."
And the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
Perfect strangers. Cue the inspiring montage of luggage, landmarks, and wide-eyed optimism. This theme was pure immigrant dream wrapped in a synth pop bow. David Pomeranz didn't just sing the theme, he launched it like a motivational poster in musical form. Whether you were a fish out of water like Balky or a stressed-out everyman like Larry, that chorus made you believe a new beginning was just one sitcom freeze frame away. And it was so dang catchy, standing tall on the wings of my dream. It practically begged you to put your fists on your hips and stare dramatically into the future. Even if the future was just a shift at the store. Now the visuals were huge too, literally with the Statue of Liberty, cross-country buses, and 2 cousins marching toward destiny, or at least their apartment. It really had that unmistakable TGIF glow, like the world might not always make sense, but if you stuck together, you'd be okay.
No matter what the odds are this time, nothing's gonna stand in my way.
I really do have a soft spot for this theme in my heart. Fans still reference it when taking on big moves, bad commutes, or even laundry day. And admit it, you've whispered, "Nothing's gonna stop me now," at least once while trying to open a stubborn pickle jar.
My life, my dream, nothing's gonna stop me now.
Who's the boss? Now this theme didn't just open the show, it opened a front door, a U-Haul, and a brand new chapter. With its gentle piano notes and wide-eyed lyrics, it captured the feeling of starting over, just like Tony and Angela did.
There were times I lost a dream or two.
There's a time for love and a time for living. It's like life advice you'd hear over morning coffee in that sunlit Connecticut kitchen. It was soft, hopeful, but totally earned, just like Tony's transition from pro ball to Mr. Mom.
Time for love and a time for living. Take a chance and face the wind.
And the song grew right alongside its characters. At first, it was peppy and light, matching Tony's fish out of water charm and Angela's high-powered career jitters. But over time, the arrangement mellowed into something richer, less sitcom jingle, more grown-up theme about second chances. but I don't think it ever got schmaltzy or overreached. It just fit. Kind of like Tony's towel over the shoulder or Mona's perfectly timed one-liners.
So long, but you might awake to a brand new life, brand new life.
Even today, the second those keyboard notes hit, you're right back on that long suburban driveway, watching a moving truck full of emotional baggage. It's the kind of theme that sneaks up on you and makes you feel something warm before you even realize it. A brand new life might have been around the bend, but this song made you believe it could really happen. Miami Vice. Welcome to the sound of neon, baby. Jan Hammer's synth-drenched theme wasn't just music. It was a vibe, a lifestyle, and maybe even a cologne ad in disguise. It was Miami in the 80s. Pastel blazers, midnight boat chases, and morally ambiguous heroics, all wrapped up in a 60-second sonic gut punch. When Miami Vice premiered in 1984, it basically invented its own genre. Part cop drama, part music video. Executive producer Michael Mann famously demanded that, quote, "Every frame looked like a photograph." And Jan Hammer matched that energy note for note. His theme went beyond background music, it led the scene. That pulsing rhythm and eerie synth hook practically sweat humidity and danger. It was even released as a single. The Miami Vice theme hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1985. The first artist to top the charts with an instrumental since way back in '69. It also won 2 Grammys, not bad for a TV theme born out of a drum machine and a Yamaha DX7. One TV critic once called the show MTV Cops, and honestly, yeah, that's about right. This wasn't just appointment TV, it was a full-on cultural event. And that theme song, it didn't just open the show, it announced it. Kinda like Crockett stepping out of a Ferrari in slow motion with the ocean wind and enough attitude to break a sweat without trying. To this day, that first note still feels like flipping a switch. Hey, welcome to the Vice. Charles in charge. New boy in the neighborhood. And now you're suddenly transported back to a world of feathered bangs, jelly bracelets, and Friday night TV marathons.
The new boy in the neighborhood lives downstairs and
This theme song didn't just introduce Charles, it practically lobbied for him to be America's most wholesome heartthrob. With its bouncy synths, chipper melody, and lyrics that read like a resume for the world's most trustworthy babysitter, it was the musical embodiment of 80s sitcom charm.
Charles in charge of our days and our nights.
It was originally composed by David Kurtz, Michael Jacobs, and Al Burton, who also co-wrote the Different Strokes theme. It did get a revamp in season 2, along with the show's cast overhaul. The new version, performed by Shandy Cinnamon, cranked up the pep and polished the production. And while the plot, single mom hires a college kid to wrangle her children, may raise modern eyebrows, the theme song sold it with zero hesitation.
Charles in charge of our days and our nights.
It didn't wink or overthink, it just promised that Charles, played by Scott Baio, had it all under control. Days, nights, wrongs, rights. He had the whole suburban situation just handled, you know. And to this day, it's one of those TV themes that lives rent-free in the brain. Hum a few bars and suddenly you're back in that laugh track-filled living room, rooting for Charles to pass a midterm and solve the sibling feud all before dinner. Magnum PI. Before you even saw the mustache, somehow you heard it. That hard-driving, guitar-powered theme song wasn't just a song, it was a heads up that the coolest private investigator in Hawaii was about to parachute into action. Or at least speed over in that slick red Ferrari. Now, the iconic theme that we all remember actually wasn't the original. The show's early episodes featured a slower, jazzy tune. But then the audiences said, yeah, I don't think so. So beginning with episode 12, in came Mike Post and Pete Carpenter, the duo behind a laundry list of incredible TV themes. Now we're talking the A-Team, the Rockford Files, Hill Street Blues, and then, yeah, they absolutely delivered again. That soaring guitar riff, it wasn't just catchy, it practically sprinted into the room and it high-fived you, and then it stole your sunglasses. But hey, that's a case for Magnum PI. And the theme's success wasn't just anecdotal. It cracked the Billboard Hot 100 and even hit number 25 on the US Adult Contemporary chart in '82. It also scored a Grammy nom, because of course it did. It wasn't just background music, it was Magnum swagger packed into 60 seconds of TV gold. Just like the man himself, the music had range, action-packed but smooth, cool but never smug. And whether Tom Selleck was chasing bad guys, fishing with Rick and TC, or trading quips with Higgins, that theme made sure you were fully locked in. To this day, fire up those opening bars and boom, it's instant. You're now cruising the coast of Oahu, wind in your hair. Solving crimes with a smirk. It's not just a theme song, it's a vibe in aviators and a Detroit Tigers cap. Full House. One blast of that harmonica and boom, you're back in San Francisco where hugs solved everything, and the only thing stronger than the Tanner family bond was Uncle Jesse's hair routine. The theme didn't just set the mood, it wrapped you in it. Everywhere you look, there's a heart. It felt like it was speaking directly to you, especially after a long day of school or chores. The lyrics were the definition of sitcom comfort food, simple, optimistic, and dripping with reassurance. It made you believe that no matter what kind of chaos was happening, and there was always chaos.
Everywhere you look, everywhere's a heart.
Someone would be there for you with a corny joke and a heartfelt hug by the end of the episode. And that final build-up, yeah, everywhere you look, was basically your cue to exhale and let the warm fuzzies in. Now it's no surprise that the song made a comeback with Fuller House, the reboot, but it was tweaked just enough to be modern, but still hitting those same emotional chords.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening.
Now it's been memed to death, sure, but it's also been sung at karaoke nights and heartfully belted out of the privacy of countless showers. It's more than just a theme. Everywhere You Look became an anthem of unconditional support and the unofficial soundtrack to growing up in a world where everything somehow worked out. There you have it, the TV theme songs that didn't just open shows, they opened hearts, homes, and in the A-Team's case, probably a few locked safes with homemade explosives. Whether it was Charles being in charge of our days and our nights, or the Growing Pains gang singing about the world spinning right in their hands, I still think that all of these theme songs can still hit us in that nostalgia nerve. Some were funky, some were heartfelt, and some made us believe we could walk on air, cape or not. But that's enough for me. Now we need to hear from you, the fans. Tell me which of these songs still lives rent-free in your head. Did I include a theme song that you actually hated? And most importantly, did I forget an awesome 1980s TV theme? Well, please get down in the comment section and tell me which. If you enjoyed our episode, which I sure hope you did, please click that little thumbs up icon. It really helps our channel a ton. Make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a memory, or a walk down memory lane at least. But most importantly, from my entire team here at Do You Remember, we want to thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.